You make me shy. Yeah, you do. I feel like it's always really awkward when I try to start a YouTube video. So, hi, this is the intro. The other day, I was scrolling on Snapchat memories and I found an eyeshadow look that I did back in 2018 and I was like, girl, I see the vision, but now let's recreate it. Let me show you guys. I use the Nirvana palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I remember buying this palette and I was like, ah, I love her. But I never use it anymore. So that's what we're gonna use today because that's what I used for this makeup look. So we have here glitter, purple on the ends, a little bit of like a purplish brown look on the crease. Lashes look messy, but I see the vision, you know? Here's the second look. And that is what we're gonna try to recreate today. I'm gonna zoom you guys in really close so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna take this purple shade Soul and I'm just gonna pack that on the outer corner. And I'm gonna be using the Morphe M332 eye blender brush. And I'm just gonna pack that right here. And then in just a second, I'm gonna start dragging that out, but with a different brush. I know me in 2018 would not have done that at all, played it very safe, but the more I play with makeup, the more I learn that it's just about being bold and going for it. And packing on that color. Don't forget to pack on that color. I'm not gonna stress about blending right now. Just pack on that color. I'm gonna switch brushes. I'm still gonna go in with this Soul shade. I'm just gonna grab a little bit less and then I'm gonna start dragging that on my crease. I haven't really paid attention to Anastasia in quite a while. I wanna see if they've come out with anything recently. By the way, the new brush that I got is by Morphe. 90% of my eyeshadow brushes are Morphe, but this is the M456 brush. Using M433, I'm gonna use this violet shade right here. I'm gonna pack that on just right over the first shade we just placed on. When things get a little too patchy, too messy, too fast, I like to grab a brush with absolutely nothing on it and I'm just gonna blend that out before I put any more shade on it, any more color on it. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm gonna go back in with this brush, gonna grab a little bit more of that violet and this time I am gonna tap it on my palette and I'm gonna go in with a softer hand. Again, I'm going to grab that brush that has absolutely no product on it and I'm going to go back and keep blending on that shade. It is a little bit of a darker shade, so it can get very patchy and messy very fast. And I just kind of want to try to avoid a messy look. Grabbing that M332 brush again, I'm going to go back in with Soul and just bring back that purple shade. I don't want it to get too lost. I think there's like a little bit of shimmer in this purple shade. It's so cute. The brush that I used to grab this violet shade, I'm not going to go back in and grab more pigment. I'm just going to use what I have on the brush and I'm just going to go back in and blend that out just a little bit more. I'm looking at the picture and I can definitely tell that I used the shade Love. However, in this part of the makeup, I think we've surpassed that. So instead of going with a darker brown shade, I think I'm gonna go with this like orangey shade right here. I'm just gonna grab a little bit and I'm gonna be very, very light-handed about it. And I'm gonna just put that on my outer shade as my outer shade. Just like that. On one side of the brush, we have all that product. And then on the other side, when we don't have something, I kind of will use that side to blend things in a little bit without putting too much product on. And then when I want to flip it back over, it's just a little trick that I learned. Now I'm just gonna focus on building up that pigment. I'm gonna grab a little bit more violet, just a little bit, and just bring that shade back in because it did get a little bit lost. However, I don't want to make it too smoky and too dark. So I'm just gonna keep that in mind. And I'm just gonna be playing around with going back and forth between violet and eccentric. This is what we're working with as of right now. I'm gonna go in with the glitter on the eyelid. I can tell that I only used either base or dreamer. However, I wanna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna grab this eye packer brush. It's the M302. And then I'm gonna grab a setting spray. I love this one by NYX. It's called the Bear With Me. And I'm just gonna spray my brush a little bit. And then I'm gonna let that dry. And then I'm gonna grab Crystal. I'm gonna go back in with my setting spray just a little bit. Let that dry again. And I'm gonna focus this just right here, and then we'll go in with the lighter glitter shimmer shade right here. Just like this. Oh, look at all that fallout. If you keep getting that fallout, just go back in with your setting spray. This is what you have to do when shimmer shades are kind of dry. So I guess that's one downfall about this eyeshadow palette. Back in. Just gonna keep going back and forth with these two. I'm gonna focus that just right here. And then for the inner shade, that's when I'm gonna go in with Dreamer. I'm gonna grab this brush from my Naked 2 palette. And I'm gonna spray this in with the setting spray. I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna pack that on like this. Do you guys see that? I'm gonna tap off just a little bit. I don't wanna make it messy. More setting spray. Let that dry just a little bit. And then I'm gonna put that on the inner corner. Not the inner corner, the inner eyelid. Ah! Look what I just did. Me distraí. I got distracted, I'm sorry. And I'm just gonna blend these two shades together just in this area right here. And if you feel the need to, you can just keep going back and forth with those two shimmer shades. I'm gonna take a makeup wipe all of that fallout, and then I'm gonna fold my makeup wipe, and I'm just gonna kind of make a sharp line like this. Because I want it sharp. And this will be perfect when we do a wing eyeliner. It's eyeliner time. And I'm scared. It's okay. It's all about confidence. This is the Essence Super Precise Eyeliner. And I normally love using tape. However, I'm trying to get out of that. So I usually just go for it. And I hold my breath. Not bad, not bad. I need to give myself some flowers because one thing for sure, well, actually I shouldn't speak too soon because I still have to do the other side. However, what I'm gonna say right now is that I have been getting better at my eyeliner game. Cute! Okay, now for the other side. One thing that I will say is that maybe I shouldn't have cleaned the eyeshadow with the makeup wipe because now I have this situation like this on both sides. But we're learning together, right? Right? I just finished the rest of my makeup. You want to take a look? You want to take a look? Now we're gonna do our bottom lashes, and I am wearing the Noblest Lashes by Kiss. I absolutely love these lashes so much. I also grabbed this little brush. It's the M152 just to kind of blend that eyeshadow. You know how it looked like this? And I just dragged it down to kind of blend that together. And with that same brush, I'm gonna go in with the Soul. And I'm just gonna put that on the bottom lashes. I feel like bottom lashes is always really fast and easy. There's not a whole lot that goes into it. But it does, you know, elevate the look quite a bit. I don't have something flat, so I'm just gonna grab this angle brow brush. I'm gonna go in Eccentric and Violet. I'm gonna mix the two. And I'm gonna put that right on my bottom lashes. I'm not really gonna blend that out. And I've really been loving black eyeliner on my eyeshadow looks. I feel like it really just makes everything pop that much more. This is the L'Oreal Infallible one, and I do not recommend. It's very patchy, as you can tell, and it's not... My camera would die. Are we surprised? But let me just tell you guys what I did. So I ended up using, I'm still using the L'Oreal Infallible Black Eyeliner, which, again, I don't recommend. And then I use this palette. I really love this white shade right here. And I just use that in my inner corner and then a little bit on the brow bone. I love how that looks. And for my lips, in case you guys are interested, I use the Maybelline Lifter Liner in the shade Player. And then the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink in the shade Punchy 120. And that is today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed. And leave a comment. Let me know what else you guys want to see from me. Ciao!